I'm trying not to cry.
No.
My dad's my hero. He's my softball coach growing up. He's just everything. I played through college.
Well, Tracy, thanks for being with us here today. Can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with Applegate?
Yes. My dad moved out here. We moved him out from Kentucky about a year and a half ago, and to be in memory care because he developed dementia, and he was in a memory care place back in Kentucky and was not receiving very good care. So my sister and I, there's just four of my mom, dad, and one sister. It's just my sister and I left now, and we decided to bring him out here because I knew there were really good facilities out here with memory care, and so brought him out here. He was in memory care for a year and declined pretty quickly, and we actually fought getting hospice. I fought it because of what I'd heard about hospice, uninformed people, and finally it got bad enough to where he was definitely a 2 to 3 person transfer for everything, and we had no choice. The facility called us in and said, he either has to go on hospice or you're gonna have to find another facility for him. So it took that for me to even consider hospice, and I was not happy about it.
For what reason were you so afraid of hospice?
Because all I'd heard was that when they go on hospice, they have about a week to live. It's basically just a death sentence, and that they snow the patients, and they don't feed them or give them anything to drink, and just you watch them die. That was what I thought and had been told by many people.
Dang. How did that perception of hospice change over time?
It changed the first time Rich came to my dad's room and just walked in and gave me a big bear hug, and he said, "I'm so sorry." And he brought Susan in with him, and he said, "She's gonna be over your case." He said, "We'll take the best care of you and your dad. We love him already." And I could tell right there that they truly cared, and I told them my concerns, and they assured me that was not what would happen. They do not snow them. And just watching it, by the next day, they had taken over everything, because I work full-time, I'm a teacher, and I would go from school to the facility and stay 5 or 6 hours a day to try to keep him in the facility. I would lay with him at night to try to get him to sleep. It was too much. And on top of that, buying all the supplies and staying on top of that, it was too much. And the next day, I went to see him, and his room was stocked full of supplies. It was all the pads we needed, the briefs, the wipes, anything we needed, a hospital bed, a mat for the floor, so if he fell, which he was starting to fall a lot, he wouldn't get hurt. It was just there. And I do want to say this about Applegate. Because I was there so much at the facility, I knew all the CNAs. I knew everyone on every shift, and I knew all the little patients. They were so sweet, and you grow to love them, especially when you see them caring for your dad. And many of them told me that others in there are on hospice cares without Applegate, using a different facility, and they said, "But never send people taken as good care of as Applegate does." They said it's a whole different level of care. I mean, I would go, and like I said, every day there would be a music therapist there because he played banjo in a bluegrass band and guitar and was a singer. So they found that out about him, had music therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. People came and checked on him every day. Sometimes 2 different people would come every day to check on him. Susan really took over his nursing care for us. She always kept us informed, but she got things done, and the staff really respected her because she knows what she's doing, and she just whipped it into shape like that. And if something needed done, it got done that day. I've never seen anything like it, and I was just so grateful when I saw the care and the love that they gave him. And I was so stirred because we lost our mom in a car accident 12 years ago, just tragic, just gone. You get the phone call, so I would love it watch someone die slowly that we love like this. And so didn't know how to do it. How do you say goodbye to someone, to your hero, and you watch them suffer? In the hospice, Susan actually shared a story with me. She went through the same thing with her own daughter. And her daughter was young, and that actually gave me strength. And so they kept me informed of what would happen, so I knew what to look for. I wasn't surprised. And how they would treat it, and the main goal is to keep them comfortable. And that was what my heart wanted, because it wasn't about me keeping him around. I didn't want him to suffer. I just wanted to help, I call it walk them home with as much grace and ease and dignity as we could. And I think that's what Applegate did. They just helped. They helped us walk my dad home in the way that he deserved it. He's such a good man. His passing was beautiful. It was hard at times, but it was actually beautiful and peaceful. And I know it's not always like that. It was such a blessing and a tender mercy, and they were there with me the entire time, because I've never done that. And I was got to lay in the bed with him while he passed. And it was beautiful, it was peaceful. And I'm so grateful for Applegate. The follow-up care that they've given. I just keep sending my sister screenshots of the letters. I get letters monthly from their, I think it's called the bereavement coordinator. It's like, he always comes at the perfect time. And somehow the message is just perfect for what you need at that time. They even sent me a birthday card for him on his birthday after he passed. So, sorry, I'm crying so much. So just knowing that they loved him and that they remembered him, and that they remember us and are walking us through the stages of grief after has really been helpful.
That's awesome. And kind of to touch more into that, can you tell us a little bit about that, how Applegate has helped you through the bereavement process?
By always being available, by truly showing they cared. What they did with my dad showed me that they cared. They don't have to tell me. They proved it. They were there when I couldn't be. They walked me through how to help him leave. That's a scary thing. It's really scary. But they made it so sweet, and it was beautiful. So because of how they treated him, I know that they love me and that they loved him, and so I trust them. And they still touch base with me to make sure I'm okay, my sister and I.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How did Applegate help support the rest of your family?
It's just my sister and I.
Oh.
And so when they would send me, while I'm at the facility, we're on FaceTime with my sister the whole time. Susan and Richard, it was a joint effort. All decisions were made with our consent. They gave us options. And then Susan would say, I think this is the best option. Richard would say, I think this is the best option. And it was the same option. And then we would make the decision together. So because my sister's still in Kentucky, so they made her feel part of it every step of the way. They gave her their cell numbers. My sister would FaceTime Susan all the time and ask her questions. And when we needed a med change, it was like that. It was incredible. So even with my sister being in Kentucky, she was there every day as part of his care.
That's awesome. That's really great. What would you say to families considering hospice care for a loved one?
What I would say to families considered hospice care for a loved one, I would say be careful who you choose, because I do know, because I saw it in that facility, that there are agencies. It's a lot easier to snow a patient, and they're easier, I think. Find someone who won't do that, and that's Applegate. They did not do it. In fact, I almost had to ask them to snow him at the end. Because they didn't want to rush things. They just wanted to keep him perfect. It was the perfect pace for him. They just went off of his body and what it needed. And so I would choose wisely. Like I said, I saw the results of other companies' efforts versus Applegate's. And it's not even close. Applegate was head and ears above the others.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Tracy. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.